All right, everybody, welcome to LEARNin San Diego Live. We've got an amazing show for you today. We've got Noemi with Compass Real Estate, where we're going to be going over North Park. My name is Chris Astelera with Exchange Resources. We are LEARNin San Diego Live. All right, the beauty of this show is that we focus in on specific regions of San Diego. And that's why we're here today to have Noemi go over what is going on in North Park. We need to consider different things when you're buying real estate, when you're a first-time home buyer, or you're upgrading to a new house, or if you're a real estate investor looking at rental properties in these areas. There are three different things that you need to take into consideration. The quality of life. Is that the quality of life? Does it meet your needs? Does that area have everything that your family needs? We're looking at market trends. What's going on with the real estate market specifically in that area? How many listings are there? Are there a lot of buyers buying homes? What's the demand? And also, we're looking at economic development. What are the jobs out there? You know, tech jobs, military jobs, a lot of different things, brand new homes that are going on in that area. These are all different things that you need to consider when buying real estate in these specific regions, more specifically North Park. Now, before we get in, let's get into our LEARNin Local News.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Eris with Mr. Carlsbad Real Estate, bringing you the LEARNin Local News. And the reason why we bring you the LEARNin Local News is to make sure that you have the most accurate, up-to-date information, none of the crazy stuff that you see online. So we want to bring you what's actually happening in the communities here around San Diego. So let's jump into today's article, guys. We have a really big news with a partnership between Compass and Redfin to bring consumers Compass's exclusive listings through Redfin. So that's a big partnership. So guys, what do we think? How's it going?
Happy Friday.
Yeah. This is unprecedented. This is going to be a great partnership. I think.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely being able to bring in a lot more listings. I think the article says it's going to be bringing in these private exclusive listings, about 500,000 new listings across the nation, which is going to be a lot more opportunities for buyers, for sellers to go ahead and sell their properties. I think that this is going to be a great partnership.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, this is a huge advantage for our sellers. They're about to get huge exposure without days on market, which is essential when you're trying to sell your home. So our first phase will be coming soon. Any homes that are coming soon on our platform with Compass, and then it'll phase into private exclusive, which are only properties within the Compass unit.
Well, I think it's amazing because so many parties win, the seller, even the buyers with Rocket Mortgage. I mean, the partnership matters because Compass gains massive exposure through Redfin traffic, right? And then Redfin gains more inventory and consumer engagement. Rocket Mortgage, they gain direct access to Compass buyers. And then, you know, I know there are benefits for the buyers that Rocket Mortgage will offer the Compass buyers a 1% mortgage rate reduction for the first year or up to $6,000 lender credit. I mean, this is such an out-of-the-box solution. Who saw this coming? Anybody?
There were talks last year with Zillow. Those didn't formulate or materialize. So now Compass has decided to go to Redfin. And again, my name is Noemi Flores. I'm on the #1 team at San Diego at the #1 brokerage, which is Compass. And I'm here to help anybody that is looking to know more about multi-units or first-time home buyers as investors. And I live rent-free in San Diego, and I hope my clients do the same.
Well, and since I spoke up, once again, Tracy Hassey, Super Connector, VP of Escrow Sales for Tycor Escrow Services. And really, at the end of the day, regardless of where a property is marketed, once the contract is written, escrow is where the transaction is protected.
I think what's great about the article also is
You're
that
on mute. Birthday Martin.
Well, right.
Birthday Martin.
Everybody, Martin Magana with Oak Rock Realty. We really do specialize in underwriting and locating investment properties. We mainly wholesale in San Diego, but from that, from a wholesale side, we kind of see this as like almost like a semi off-market opportunity for people using Compass and Redfin exclusively, because they're going to be sitting on somewhere where only they can kind of see it until they kind of hit the public market. So I think that's really cool.
No, definitely. I think though we still have the public entity. So in my world, like off market, when you have nobody knowing, is still a fun playground. So, and truly, like contractually, I just think it's messy in my own opinion, but that's just me. I'm always looking at contract compliance, and in my world, you know, it's like that's a lot of everything. You've got we won't call it kickback. I'll take that away. But we have things that could be contractually construed, and from a broker level, that just concerns me. So in the world of all new things, we watch and see how it'll play out. One positive is not gaining that market time and kind of testing the market. But I think we do that anyways with our current ability that we have on our MLS. The only thing that's really been taken away from us in 2026 is the ability to not redo our market time quickly. You have to wait for 30 days to hit the market again to be able to make all that go away. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, I agree with you, Nicole. It's, you know, there's a huge battle that's been going on between Compass, these other portals, and then Zillow on the other side. And so this is just the latest kind of, I think, move to position, you know, one way or the other. So we'll see how it plays out, but there's definitely going to be more, I think, things that are going to happen here.
Yeah, we'll see. Truly, from a board's perspective, right? So I'm thinking like our boards are more concerned than anything, because we all know monetary earning happens by clicks. And so our board has a lot of listings that are going through our integration right now that's being spit out to everybody else's websites. So that will be an interesting shift as well as we move forward with people breaking away from the MLS. I think that's the biggest thing to kind of note. It's been a conversation in my office for many, many years, but it's like, how do you do it? You just can't. In my world, I love the core values and the ethics behind our code of ethics of the Realtor Board, which is why we stay a part of them. But who knows? It may be one of those moves where, like, next you see them, you know, breaking away from the Realtor Board. Who knows? The future is still to be told.
Wild West, everybody.
One thing that's a guarantee is change, right? And yeah, it's great for the Compass agents and the Redfin, but like you own your own brokerage, Mr. Carlsbad here. It's like that takes away from helping you guys because it's not on the MLS, right? Until it goes live.
Not really. We're out there already hunting in for sale by owner Zillow world. We're on all the online portals working. And so, and honestly, just a lot of mouth to mouth, face to face that we do as well. So I don't really see a disadvantage for other brokerages at all. If anything, I see an advantage.
Yep.
So, really? Because even though you don't have access to those coming soons.
Well, I think what they're saying, though, is the public will have access to the Compass exclusives through Redfin. So now we'll all see the Compass exclusives. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It's very interesting from like the insurance side of it all. That, you know, when, again, working with a lot of real estate agents, helping on the personal alliance side and seeing how the changes are happening in your guys' industry are also changing in ours. Again, my name is Geraldine Santos with Gerald Santos Insurance Agency, and you guys are helping people out with one of their biggest investments or one of many multiple investments. And that's where the life insurance aspect of it too, where they could help protect your new clients or even help your investors to even fund even their future investments with their life insurance policies. But I give it up to you guys. Again, forever changing, hearing what was happening with this article, as well as like with Zillow. And I tip my hats off to you guys.
Well, and I think that, thank you. And I think the biggest thing too, like think of it this way, coming soon right now, we have rules. So coming soon status means you can't see my property. Right. You can be coming, but you can't even write an offer on my property. So there's so many rules that have to be followed in that space. So in my world as a broker, it's like, be careful, because what happens when the agent lets 10 people in? And what happens when they say we're only working with Compass? That's a whole big yuck in our industry. So it'll be interesting to see how it is. I'm sure they have rules set, right, of some kind, Noemi?
Yeah, Compass has, Compass is #1 brokerage in San Diego and in the entire country. So they would not make moves unless they've been inclined to look at all the rules, and they're just cutting edge on what they do. But I know that, Christopher, I think you have a few comments.
Yeah, I think that, what's great about it is that, the people who are going to be on this website, they're not going to be able to see all the property data. They're not going to see property data. They're not going to be able to see days on the market. Price reductions will not be displayed. So a lot of data is still not going to be displayed, but at least it's going to be open up for more listings, thousands more listings, and then exclusive buyer leads for those Redfin agents. So we'll see what happens. Like Nicole says, I think this is just an opportunity for us to try it out and see how this is actually going to benefit the buyers and sellers moving forward. So with that in mind, let's talk about LEARNin Local Live. What is LEARNin Local Live? This is a live podcast. So please comment, ask questions below. It's great for our discussions. Everything that we're discussing right now, we want you to be involved in the community. We highlight real estate professionals, the real estate agents that are out there in the field. We present off-market deals. We do case studies on listings. We do networking opportunities, and we provide these events. If you're looking to flip a house, if you're looking to build an ADU, if you're just looking to buy your first houses, we are here to provide you the information and also all these different events. The show is not only for people who are curious about real estate, it's for everybody who wants to know what's really going on. And how do we do this? We educate, we empower, and we inspire all of you to make the right decisions in real estate. And how do we do that? We connect, collaborate, and create content with our subject market educators here on this show. They're here, they're live, and we present all of this information right here, right now. Welcome, everybody. This is going to be an amazing show for you today. We are in one of the most expensive cities in the nation. And guess what? The sun is out. We're not dealing with hurricanes, tornadoes, or any of the snow and the blizzards. This is why we pay for the real estate that we pay for. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, Chris. I mean, I think the fact that right now we can be in shorts and flip-flops in San Diego is amazing. And with it is a huge appreciation that we'll talk about when we get into more of the topics that we're going to discuss regarding North Park. So again, I'm Noemi Flores, and we're here to help you strategize into your next property with data and with knowledge. As a native San Diegan, I live rent-free in San Diego, and I teach my clients how to do the same. And so if you're interested, please feel free to reach out, and I can help you.
Thank you, Noemi. Eris.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Eris with Mr. Carlsbad Real Estate Broker, and you're a North County expert, over 100 million in closed transactions. We help you live limitless with all things real estate. All right, let's go to Nicole. I think you're on mute.
Darn it, you gotta live live. Nicole Turner from South State Next Gen Realty Broker owner here, turning our clients and our team's stresses into absolute successes every day. Just noted top 3% in the San Diego County, and as a team combined, top 1% for 2025. Love that, and thanks for having me today.
All right, everybody. So I think we got everybody. Allie?
Oh, goodness. My internet's terrible today, so I'll do my best real quick. But yeah, Ali Perkins, Oak Rock Real Estate Investments. I work with investors in San Diego and help them find opportunities. So hopefully you guys heard that, and I hope you're having a great day. And let's move on to this next segment.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. Okay, great. Everybody, thank you all so much for being here. Let's get into the next segment of our show and meet our subject market educators. All right, and the reason why we bring our subject market educators here is because they're here and they're live, and they're the ones out there, out in the field, working with buyers and sellers and know what's going on in real estate. I mean, these are the people that you need to reach out to. These are the experts. These are the knowledgeable people who are here to help you with your real estate transactions so that you don't make a mistake. Now, I'm one of these subject market educators, but I don't have time to create content for myself. If you get involved with our community, this is what they can do for you. Located in Rancho Bernardo, we've been around for over 26 years and we've done over 60,000 tax deferred exchanges. If you don't do a 1031 tax deferred exchange, you could be faced with about 30 to 40% in taxes, right? Wouldn't you rather roll that over to the next property so that you can buy more with it? Well, we're here to give you your options. Let's talk. All right, thank you, Exchange Resources. And you really only need one exchange company because we do it all. We do all 50 states, and we've been around the longest. We've been around for almost 30 years. We've done over 60,000 exchanges, and investors have trusted us with over $35 billion of exchange funds. With that in mind, let's transition into the next segment of our show and get into it with our Learning Local Insights.
Hey guys, Nicole Turner here again. We are going to get into North Park with Noemi Flores. First though, let's thank our sponsor.
Protection that puts you first. Your home and your family deserve security, stability, and peace of mind. For every mile, every moment, every memory in motion. Because every drive deserves to get you home safely. Comprehensive solutions that safeguard your operations, assets, and future. Farmers Insurance, because your life deserves protection that truly matters.
Hey guys, Nicole Turner here again. Thanks again to Farmers Insurance for sponsoring this segment. You guys, North Park is that beautiful place right in our central San Diego, in what I call the Golden Corridor, a beautiful culture and a community that we are going to get into and dive deep into. One positive having our experts here on this panel. The person talking today the most is going to be Noemi. She lives right in North Park. I learned that about her the other day, and she's been there quite a while. And truly, when you're looking in a geographical area, someone that lives there can tell you things that other people can't. So, Noemi, how your quality of life that's there in North Park, since being there for quite a while, what do you really enjoy about the area that you live in? And what do you think makes it the best for a client?
Thanks for having me on the show. And yes, I've lived in North Park for several decades now. And there are several things that I can highlight about North Park. Beginning with the proximity to Balboa Park. Balboa Park is a 1,200-acre park that has museums and has all sorts of different activities and hiking trails. And so this attracts a lot of people, along with the zoo being right next to it. So, and Balboa Golf Course being right there as well. North Park offers a huge advantage as opposed to other parts of the county, and that's because it can be family oriented. People don't know that there's family events that happen here. As a matter of fact, they'll do movie nights with people bringing blankets at the park and seeing the movies. They'll do just events for the holidays. And so that's the family part. But the other part that attracts people is the restaurants. We have culinary chefs coming in that's been recognized throughout magazines. So when you come to North Park, if you're a foodie, definitely you'll love it. And then as far as arts, we have art galleries. We have a whole street just dedicated to all these arts that happen, and people come in from all over town for that. And the North Park Observatory, which seats over 1,000 people for actual concerts. So my Airbnbs actually get a lot of people just coming in for those concerts that take place. So really, it's a great mix for either midterm, short-term, and family-oriented.
Good points. I think you're also in that sweet spot of weather. You're right there where you have the warmth, but you have enough ocean breeze going on, right? Central air is not prevalent in your area.
It isn't. You're right. I can just open a window and air just comes in, and I don't have to worry about my AC working or not. So it is absolutely true, Nicole. So those are kind of the highlights. Also, what people might not know about North Park is that it is walkability is very high compared to other parts of the county. As a matter of fact, let me just give you an example. They have bike trails that you can take your bike all the way from North Park to downtown or to the zoo or to Balboa Park. So people don't know that that exists. And so it's something that a lot of people like. What do you think, Eris, when you think of North Park?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's so much it has going for it. I love to go to the Globe Theater there and catch a show. It's a lot of fun too. They have some, really tremendous plays and theatrical works. I think we saw like a satirical one last Halloween about Dracula that was pretty funny. So yeah, North Park's always got a ton of stuff going on. Yeah, just the restaurants. You got a lot of options there, and yeah, the location is very central. So you can get to a lot of parts of town from North Park within minutes. So it's an ideal neighborhood to be in, Noemi, definitely.
Definitely, Martin, North Park in your world. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, we used to have our old office right above North Park, near the mall. So I was going back there all the time. I know the Thai, I think it's called Thai Place, North Park. I used to go there all the time, and obviously walking over to Balboa Park and doing everything. So I love it from a real estate perspective. I love how it's almost like landlocked with like properties. You're not really going to see new single families being built that often. You're seeing more like condos and development play. So a lot of opportunities for new people trying to get into rentals, especially with all the Airbnb opportunities, with all the activities in the area. But also it's a good opportunity for investors because a lot of these homes are fairly old. So as demand kind of dwindles, you have a lot of supply of old flip opportunities in North Park. So.
Speaking of that, Allie, do you think that there's going to be more building this year with things like SB 75 and things like that going on in these urban areas?
I mean, if you can get the land, right? Like that's the name of the game. Find the land and you can do anything. It's pretty impacted over there. I like North Park a lot. Actually, I moved to this place. I'm at the Bills and Mission Hills now, but yeah, North Park's a great area. Ton of opportunity. It's really kind of turned a corner in the last 10 years and just keeps growing. I'm over there every week. I play in a pool league over there at $7,000. The observatory's over there. It's just depending on, I guess, where you're at in life, whatever age you're at, there's always something going on for everyone. So like the area a lot.
Yeah. One thing Noemi had mentioned was Morley Field and that there's a community pool there too. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing because a lot of people will think of North Park and only think of no family style. I know a lot of people have that perception. So that was a huge insight for me. Balboa Park too. You got to walk that. The zoo's right there. You have all the freeways. You're right by downtown, the airport. You've got the bases that are close. Do you see a lot of military activity in your area, Noemi?
So we have, thanks for asking. Actually, we have the Naval Base Hospital right next to the zoo or near proximity to the zoo in Balboa Park. So we do have a lot of people that work there. And so it attracts a lot of people to live nearby there so that they don't have to travel too far to work that are military. So what about you, Tracy? What do you think about when you think about North Park?
Oh my gosh, well, I hear of so many people moving there, and because of everything you guys have talked about, and I really think that North Park is evolving into San Diego's strongest live, work, invest neighborhoods. And it's North Park, it's the strength isn't just the lifestyle, it's the economic ecosystem really supporting central San Diego because of its location to so much economic vitality to our city.
Absolutely. And I just want to make sure, Daryl, have you been to North Park?
Oh, you're on mute.
You're on mute.
So more down through the downtown area, Little Italy. Yeah, my wife and I have been out there, but Balboa Park, again, like landmark place to experience everything. Again, what's really been really cool about even with this San Diego Zoo is that you could even stay there after dark. I remember hearing about that. And so it's really cool to see how things have evolved. And again, a lot of real estate opportunities. Been out there for many networking events out there.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Why don't we jump into some market trends that I wanted to share with you about regarding North Park. So one of them is that there has been a market trend, as far as, let's see, we'll pull up right now. There's been a market trend specifically in North Park, and one of them has been that condos. Well, we're going to first talk about the home median prices. Single family homes are $1,125,000. Attached condos are at $690,000. This just shows that people are still wanting to live in North Park and willing to pay the extra premium to live there because of its walkability. Now, we also have had some traction with the rental market sustaining itself with single family homes between $4,300 to $5,035, and one bedroom, one bath condos running from $2,300 to $2,500, which is unheard of for other parts of the county. Now, one particular part that I want to talk about is just the market trend that has happened with the condos. So last year in January, they were at $490,000, and now in January it was $690,000. So what does that mean? People who are waiting and thinking about buying in North Park a condo, they just lost out in a huge appreciation. And we don't see that kind of an appreciation in condos in other parts of San Diego County, as you guys are aware of. What are your thoughts about this information that I'm sharing with you?
Hey, so Noemi, I have a really quick question for you. As far as the increase, and that's a $200,000 increase in the past year. That is significant. So if you have an investor who's going to be going into this market, what do you recommend that they do? I mean, obviously, you want to buy something that they can afford to rent, but renting long-term versus doing an Airbnb, what's your take on that? What would probably be a better situation for them, to rent it out as an Airbnb or to do it long-term, especially with the high prices going into this in this market?
That's the great thing about North Park. You can pivot where a lot of other parts of the county can't. So you can actually get a long-term tenant, or you can do midterm, like furnish finders, or you can do Airbnb. We can do an analysis. When they reach out to me, I do an analysis on each one to see which one is going to be the best fit. But in North Park, you can do all three plays. So that's the great part and the beauty part of this part of the county. And investors realize that having that type of property that can pivot is a huge plus.
Yeah, and it's still close to the beach.
15 minutes to the beach. You can get in downtown. You don't even have to get onto freeways to get to downtown. You take Pershing Avenue. So again, you just the proximity to all things San Diego is within minutes from your home.
Noemi, I hear that in terms of the short-term rentals, it's getting competitive. How have you been able to see some of your clients who go the short-term rental route to be able to stand out and acquire or obtain more reservations?
Great question, Daryl. I actually sit down with my clients and I create a strategy. I do once a year an Airbnb seminar where I break it down on how to become an Airbnb superhost, which is what you're trying to do when you're an Airbnb. So again, I have the tricks and the trades that I share with my clients to not just launch their Airbnb, but to launch it successfully.
Definitely
Naomi, I have a question
in San Diego County. Sorry, Martin.
No, you're good. Go ahead, Nicole.
I was moving on, but go ahead before we.
Oh, last thing. I would say from an Airbnb stance, how long are you seeing people getting approved for an Airbnb permit, or even just permitting in general in North Park?
I think it's going to depend on what tier. So City of San Diego has 4 tiers. It depends if they're going to be an investor where they're only going to do Airbnb. Are they going to live in one and then use another unit as an Airbnb? That's going to be a different tier. There's a lot more, and it's easier for that strategy, but it just depends on the investor. Each one is so different on what they're trying to achieve.
And I think this area is one that you don't have a lot of people moving from. You have a good owner established area zip code. And so inventory there is something that can be hard to find, right? But that's where we have our creative ways to be able to find things. Getting into that economic development, what are you seeing in economic development in that area?
Oh, we're seeing major developments happening right next to St. Luke. We're having a huge development for affordable housing. And so in that, we have like a new multifamily housing project that's also happening on Bancroft. And so all these mixed use development, meaning that they're going to have probably restaurants or stores on the bottom and units on top for people to live in. And so I'm very excited to see that's going to be available for people to be able to come and move into this great neighborhood.
I so love the mixed use. where they have the commercial on the bottom and your residential. But I wish that trend would follow out here in the East County. We have a lot of commercial buildings, malls that are being talked about, knocked down and rebuilt. I'm like, leave the businesses on the bottom. I'm sure it's a structural thing, but anyways, what else do you guys?
Yeah. No, it's so true. It's such a huge advantage because then it allows, like, for example, the affordable housing units that are coming into this neighborhood are going to be very helpful. We have La Boheme. I don't know if you've heard of that one on 30th Street, which allows for affordable housing for people who may not make the income for the normal price points. And so there's all these down payment programs I also talk to my clients about to help them get into these type of neighborhoods.
Nice.
Noemi, I have a really quick question for you. Going back to the investor route, as far as, some of these investors want to possibly live in one unit and rent out the other unit, what are the opportunities for, multi-units in the North Park area? And what is the cost per unit? What is the average cost per unit for multi-units?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I have my triplex here in North Park. And so I run my Airbnbs. And so just from a personal experience, I can tell you that that's the great thing about this part of the community is that there's properties that are zoned for multi-unit here. Homes with ADUs are also very common here, as well as multi-units like in respect to the developments that we're seeing right now, where it's going to be like 77 units and things like that. So having those three types of zonings allow for great opportunity for someone who wants to live in one and offset it with the rental income or Airbnb.
That brought up a question. So that area in my world is always, if it has a garage, that's a great problem to have, right? Or a parking spot. So we have a lot of building happening right now in these areas. Are you seeing parking garages starting to pop up like we have, for example, down in downtown?
Yes, parking garages being converted into ADUs, absolutely. That's absolutely the strategy for homeowners. And people stay here for many years. For example, my neighbor's been here for 35 years, and the one on the other side of my house has been here for 30 years. So again, these are people that are not moving because they love the community. And that's, I think a lot of people don't realize that about North Park, that it still is quiet streets and a community, and you can walk over to all the coffees and the bars and the restaurants.
Aris, do you have any questions for Noemi on economic development in your neck of the woods?
What I would say is there's a couple of things. My wheels are turning, but I do really love, in North Park. If you're not familiar and you're watching the show, definitely talk to Noemi. But one of the things I love about it too is just you get a lot of these historic kind of properties that have a lot of character because they were built a long time ago. So if you're someone who appreciates that kind of architecture, you'll see a lot of that out there. I think to Chris's question earlier about the multi-units over there, it seems like, if you're looking at a duplex or something over there, it's going to start at least at like 1.3, 1.4 and going up. But Noemi, you could probably answer this a little better. One of the things that's so, wherever you own an income producing property, whether it's an Airbnb, that's such a benefit is taking that depreciation and especially accelerated depreciation. So is that something that you help your clients and talk to them about when they're looking at these properties with you?
Yes, Eris, you mentioned that some of these homes are older and they're like craftsman style homes is what they're called. And so the opportunity is there for an investor to come in to get an older home and then invest into updates and then do a bonus depreciation within their first year. And so if you don't know what bonus depreciation is, I'd be more than glad to explain that to the viewers on one-on-ones, but basically that is huge tax advantage. And so we do cover bonus depreciation. We cover just mapping out what this looks like for them in order to invest in here. And doing so it's a gold mine. You get a duplex in North Park, you are sitting well because it continues to be the place to hang out at. And so I think one of the reasons why it maintains its property value, apart from the things that we've already all mentioned, is because its proximity to Balboa Park and the zoo. And so there's only about 4 communities that are nearby, one of them being North Park. So that means that there are no other communities that are going to come in. Basically, that's what you're working with, and that's the properties that we have. And when there's a limited amount of properties and a lot of people want it, prices continue to go up.
I know there was a huge thing with Balboa Park and parking recently. I'm sure that's a buzz in your area. Are they talking, paid parking is one thing, but the lack of parking another as we continue to build and develop? Are there any solutions that the community is talking about right now? Or are we going to look at a more commutable area where people are bus, trolley, on their bikes, their e-bikes? What are we looking at?
Yeah, I mean, they can.
I gotta get hacked that I just figured out. If you get a zoo pass, you get free parking at Balboa Park. And I didn't know. I just renewed my zoo pass.
Everyone sign up today.
I was fired up. I just flew in.
That's a great one, Allie. Yeah.
How much is a zoo pass, Allie?
Less than $100
so
a year.
Yeah, well, I renewed. I just did like the Monday through Friday or whatever pass. It was $89.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That really is awesome.
They want to hear all these hacks, all these different
Totally.
utilize
Local hacks.
life, right?
Yeah, actually, we have a zoo pass. So yeah, we have an annual zoo pass. That's right, Ali. That's a great hack. And as you guys just heard, that City of San Diego residents are going to be able to park for free in certain lots, so long as they register onto the website. I think it's $5 to register. $5 is nothing compared to just having unlimited access to certain lots. So that's another one that you can look into.
Definitely.
Martin,
I have one final comment on something Naomi said earlier about the homes, especially the single family homes, being mainly like this like craftsman style quality. If you're gonna look to flip a home in that area, make sure if you're in a primarily craftsman style area where most of the houses are built in that fashion, you kind of keep that craftsman feel because people are really moving in that area for that exact thing. So if you go in, completely get rid of all the charm that the house has, all of a sudden you're like this unique property in a all craftsman area, and you're probably gonna sell for a lot less than you could have if you just upped the charm it already had. So
Good point. Yes.
And I have a quick question for you, Noemi. With these craftsmen, I don't know the whole history of North Park. Is there the historical designation, the Mills Act, which I know can affect your taxes, I believe?
So the Mills Act actually is a property tax advantage for the owner. And so it has to meet some certain requirements, and we educate our clients on how to do that, because we've had some of our clients buy property that can be qualified for the Mills Act. So it just depends. So yeah, we could look into that, and it is a huge tax advantage for all our clients that have done it.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Sure.
Perfect. Well, thank you all so much. And just with on the 1031 exchange side, for many of viewers who don't really know this, if you lived in your property, if you buy a property and have it as a primary residence in North Park, and that property just goes up in value significantly, you can actually qualify for a 1031 exchange if you turn it into a rental. If you've lived in that property for 2 out of the 5 years, right? Turn it into a rental, you move out, you can actually qualify for both the 121 tax exclusion. You get the first $500,000 of that gain, or $250,000 if you're single. And then the rest of the balance of the value of that property, you can do a 1031 exchange. So many investors really don't know that. When they live in that property, they can turn it into an investment property. They don't have to pay taxes on that first 500 or 250, and then the remaining balance you can actually roll it into other properties. That's why you got to talk to Noemi and these realtors, so that they can guide you through the process, so that you can continue to increase your investment portfolio. Thank you all so much for all of your insights. This was a great dive into North Park. Now, with that in mind, let's get into the next segment of our show and get into it with our LEARNin Local Deals.
hey everybody, so it's time for my favorite segment of the Learning Local San Diego with the Learning Local Deals. But before we get started, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Revolution Realty Capital. awesome. Thank you to Coach Rue, our founder, for kind of setting all this up, making all this possible, and obviously to his company, Revolution Realty Capital, for all your hard money needs. So with that being said, let's get into our deal. Keeping with the theme of North Park, we have an amazing property brought to you by Miss Noemi Flores. So this is going to be a 4-unit multifamily property right next to Balboa Park, right next to the zoo. Great, like it's an awesome Airbnb opportunity. It's a detached 2 building. The front building is a new build. It features a 1-bed, 1-bath ADU, and then the other unit has 2 beds, 1 bath, and a loft. And then the building in the backside is going to be a recently renovated unit, both 1-1s. And like I said, right next to Balboa Park, crazy opportunity for Airbnb rentals, because if anyone's visiting San Diego, they're really focusing on that Balboa Park area, that North Park section, or just in the heart of San Diego. So it's an awesome opportunity. I'd actually pass it over to Naomi, kind of let her give her some more details, some more thought on her project. So.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this is owned solar, which is a huge plus. New roofs that were installed in 2025, that's just last year. And so each unit has a washer and dryer hookups. So that's a huge plus because each one individually has that. Now it has alley access, so it's easy to access from the back. And one of the things about multi-units in North Park is that sometimes, like we discussed earlier, you'll see an older home, but in this case, you're coming into 2 brand new ADUs and updated homes in the front. So they sit independently, which is nice, and they have their own entrance with a view. The one in the back, top ADU, has a huge advantage in that you can see massive views from there. It almost looks like a cathedral vaulted ceiling when I walk in there. And it has been generated a lot of interest to rent it out, which is already a plus. But one of the main things is that it's a 5% cap rate. And if you're not familiar with cap rates and what that means, don't worry, that's why our team is here to help you. But it's almost like a report card. When you evaluate multi-units, there are certain metrics, and one of them being a cap rate, which in this case means that it's a great long-term investment where people are going to want to rent it out.
Naomi, are any of the units currently being rented, or are they going to be delivered vacant?
That's a huge plus. There's one that is currently being rented, and their lease ends in December. And this is a plus because of financing. Let me explain. So when you have 3 other units vacant, then the person or the investor can qualify based on market rates. And that's one of the disadvantages of other multi-units, is that they're already rented and they're already capped at those rents. And if the landlord didn't increase them to market rents, then it's going to be very difficult for them to qualify. But in this case, you get 3 units that you can work with as far as midterm, short-term, or long-term rents.
Super good points. What's the list price on that? Did I miss it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 1.99. So
Wow.
when you look into these multi-units, as Chris had asked earlier, you're going to look at above the 1 million, especially this one's already done. It's turnkey, which normally you'll have to buy one and you have to renovate. But this one, you're ready to go. There's nothing for you to do other than rent it out and start getting into that massive income that's going to offset your mortgage.
Hey, Noemi, I have a really quick question for you. As far as the 1.99 price, to get that 5% cap rate, obviously you need a certain amount of a down payment in order to get that cap rate. What would that down payment be to get that overall rate?
Yeah, you want to come in between 20 to 25 to get that. And then also you'll probably want to look into short-term rentals. You'll probably get more money on the midterm and short-term rental. The ones that we announced were just long-term rental pricing, but you'll get closer to 3,000 on the midterm and the short-term rental. Mm-hmm.
I like the point you made. I'm sorry. One more point. I like the point that you made that, with the property being rented, that the lender will actually consider fair market rents for these units. That's actually really good. A lot of investors really don't know that, or a lot of people don't know that's an option that can actually help them with their loan.
Absolutely. And that's the advantage of this particular property. And that's why it lends itself well.
Well, it's nice to have units to do a short and a long term. And truly, in my world, it's like affordable rent. In the East County, 1 bedrooms, I'm at $2,100. In your world, that's $2,350. So, 20 minutes that way and closer to the ocean. That's a great place to be. And you have 2 that you can, or multiple units, so you can do long and short term in there.
Yes, I've actually, with my triplex, what I've done in the past is I've done 1 long-term and 1 Airbnb. Then I switched over to 2 Airbnbs. I mean, there's so much you can do in your own unit. You can play around with your business model.
Mhm.
I had another point too. I mean, what's great about that, I mean, that's a beautiful property, Noemi, and something else is because you have some vacant units there, you could potentially qualify as an owner occupant to occupy one of the units. That would get you a lower interest rate than if you're just buying it, as an income property where you have to go a DSCR loan. Those are typically higher rates. So really good potential for someone to get in a beautiful rental property in an ideal location there. I had a question for you guys. This is probably something we could do on another show as well. Did anyone see the proposal from the city to raise the taxes or introduce a new tax on these vacation investor homes? So I wonder how that's gonna, if that passes, muddy the waters a little bit. Obviously would kind of bring your cash flow down a little bit potentially. That would be citywide.
Yeah, we'll see where that lands. It's still in talks, but they're always looking to see what to do with the vacation rentals. But we'll see. So far, it's a very strong market for it, and North Park really lends itself and is ideal for it compared to other parts of the town.
Yeah, just to chime in really quick too, from like the insurance standpoint. I know with the insurance rates going up, and even from COVID and insurance companies trying to figure out what they want to do, I've noticed that with landlord properties or rental properties, it's been tough either from a price point or even an acceptability piece to meet underwriting needs. Because like again, with this property you just went over to, Noemi, everything is brand new, and that's great. Again, a lot of investors from what we've handled in the past dealt with, homes that were pre-1950s and, all the systems, plumbings haven't been updated. So I think this is a great opportunity for whoever chooses to purchase it, because I think the obstacles to find insurance will be not present and actually be probably much more doable with a better rate. So this is again a good opportunity.
Great point, Daryl. One thing I wanted to share is that all the ABS sewer lines are replaced throughout. So there is no cast iron, and all the electrical panels are updated in each unit. So they're brand new. So they're all new. Yeah.
It sounds amazing. And what goes through my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to share this with the people that are investing in properties like this. So I'm super excited to share it as a super connector. And then what also comes to mind, with demand remaining competitive in this neck of the woods, transactions become critical, and escrow is where the deals are protected and where deals are successfully closed. So you got to always keep that in mind at the end game, because we want whoever comes in to buy this to make sure that they have a success all the way through and can celebrate the buying this amazing property.
Absolutely, closing the sale is always very important for all parties involved. Yes.
What about the parking situation in that fourplex?
Oh, great question.
Street parking, and some people are always like cautious about it because street parking is kind of first come first serve. But in reality, we just talked about all the walkability there. So this particular unit is only a couple blocks from the grocery store, from CVS, from Starbucks, from all the coffee bars and the restaurants. So it's going to be a great location for whoever decides to rent it or buy it.
Man, that walkability sounds great.
Totally.
Perfect. Unless we have any final thoughts, probably the last little thing would be, this is an active listing. So Naomi, what's really the best place they can contact you or contact whoever wants to buy this? So what would be the best number or email for that?
Thanks, Martin. Yeah, so if you have any questions, if anyone on the panel has any other questions or viewers, you can call me at 619-251-3783. And you can text me or call me, and I'll be able to give you even some more insights that we weren't able to cover just because of the time that we have together.
Awesome. Thank you guys for all the insights on the deal. And thank you, Naomi, for providing that. But for now, let's transition over to our learning local events with the amazing Tracy Hassey.
Hey everybody, happy Friday. This is one of my favorite parts of the show, the LEARNin Local events. But before we get into the events, let's thank our sponsor.
Smart real estate investing starts with the right partner. At HLM Group LLC, We guide investors through every stage, from acquisition to full service management. Whether short, mid, or long-term rentals, we transform properties into high-performing, fully booked spaces. Design, staging, leasing, hospitality. We don't just manage properties, we create experiences that feel like home. Because the best investments deliver more than returns. They become places where life happens and memories begin. HLM Group LLC, own the property, we'll craft the experience.
Thank you, Roger Lee, HLM Group LLC. So who's ready? We're going to dive into upcoming local events here in San Diego. And what I love about this and sharing these events, you're going to meet people here, the influencers on the show. We were just at an event earlier this week where, gosh, Chris, Ruben, the founder, Harry, like half a dozen of us were at the live event. And so we really get to connect and edify each other and share what's going on. And does anybody have any events coming? I'm going to showcase these real quick. We have Nicole Turner, Cell State, Keys and Cocktails. This is an agent happy hour happening tonight. Can you believe it? It's already March 6th, 4 to 6 p.m. And that is at her office in Lakeside, 9820 Main Street. Come for drink, snacks, and most importantly, networking fun. Then we have the Real Estate Inner Circle. Unlock the power of collaboration at the Real Estate Inner Circle. This is at the University Club atop Symphony Towers, a private business club. And this is Wednesday, March 11th. And that is 11:30 a.m. to 1. And is what you're going to want to do to RSVP, call the University Club at 619-234-5200. If you're a member of the club, just go to the app and make sure you get RSVP. Bring your friends. It's a ton of fun and excellent networking and the best views in San Diego. And then we have our Chris Astolero, the king of 1031s, our host. He is Exchange Resources every second Tuesday of every month at 1 p.m. Unlock the investor market. How 1031 knowledge doubles your business. Yes, doubles your business. So that is at their headquarters on Bernardo Drive. Once again, mark your calendar. That is every second Tuesday of the month at 1 p.m. And the next one, another Cell State. We've got project evaluation, understanding your deals before you buy. Once again, this is Tuesday, March 10th, 4:30 to 9 p.m. at the Marina Village Conference Center, Seaside Room in San Diego. So you're really going to learn how to evaluate investments like a pro. It's an extension of what we're already doing here on the show. So thank you. And then, of course, we've got March 15th, the Moonlight Beach Half Marathon. I know our founder, Ruben Austria, is going to be running that, and I'm not sure who else is. I know Ruben's won awards for Ironman athlete and so much more. And anybody else have any events they want to highlight?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we'll be hosting again at San Diego Creative Investors Association on March 10th. So if somebody wants to talk to me there, we're welcome. We'll be meeting at the Marina. And again, our team sponsors that community as far as investors in San Diego because we deal with multi-units.
Oh, Ruben, you're mute. Our fearless leader, founder, Ruben Austria.
I was going to say, this is where I met Noemi. I met her at the STCIA, and I said, I want you to live rent-free in my head. Tell me everything about you. And that's how it's done. That's not what I said to her. But literally, every time I think of Noemi, that's like literally rolls off my tongue. But yeah, no, I met Noemi at the STCIA. I was with Chris. I don't know if Chris remembers. Chris was there. We had a free dinner, and I said, Chris, this is exactly why we need to reinvent networking, because people too often want to meet in person and then do online stuff. It's just good. I'm complete. Y'all, we're changing the game. We're meeting people online and then eventually having them come to us for an event that's already comfortable. I was at Harry's event this morning, and he introduced me to everybody. It's way easier to go to an event where you have cachet, especially realtors. You guys need to be the mayor of your town. Like, You want to know what it's like? You got to do run for office, and maybe that's probably the best thing. You know what I mean? But like I'm telling you, LEARNin Local is coming to your town. But this is how it happens. I met Noemi at SDCIA. I want everyone to go there and see her and work, like watch her cook, because you know what I mean. Like she's just a wealth of information in person as well. So yeah, it's gonna be great.
Tracy, if you run for mayor, I will vote.
Oh, thank you. My husband always
I just
tells
want
me.
to know, I'm endorsing you openly right now. I feel like you do an incredible job.
Thank you, Allie.
And by the way, it looks like John from Mr. Carlsbad, the double-headed other side of the double-headed monster called Mr. Carlsbad, that he was going to run. In fact, he said he was going to wear my meta glasses while he ran. But
I love it. I gotta get that on video. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna run, and the whole point of me putting that out there as an event is that we're gonna be. I mean, you guys like what you guys see now. I mean, we're gonna completely change the game next quarter, where we're basically creating. And just imagine that we've already put in this work to the 6 week challenge. Choose a strategy, get financing, find who can get you a deal. Find who can help you with construction. Find with someone who can help you with title, escrow, right, and all the things, insurance. And then find someone who can help you wash, rinse, and repeat. That's literally what we're doing starting in Q2. Q2, we are starting with the LEARNin Local Challenge, where I will invite college professionals, people who literally need opportunities to learn about real estate and how they can be investing in real estate with you guys. Nice. We're going to be completely changing how people get information about real estate, because we're going to literally be giving it to them every Tuesday, 1 week at a time. Wash, rinse, and repeat. So at the end of March 15th, just to give you just a snippet of what I can do, I'll be in the race. We're going to put together the rise. We're going to have Mr. Carlsbad. Mr. Carlsbad, Eris, your better half already said, I'm sorry, your other half already said you're going to be there. So we're bringing the Rise van. We're going to park right on Moonlight Beach. We're going to have
I'll be on the surfboard. I'll wave at you guys.
Yeah, he said everyone's going to have, like, all the guys have no shirts, and it's going to be CAR, and then M and R is going to be Eris and John. Mr. Carlsbad.
All right.
Yeah, so anyhow. But anyways, no, the whole point is that once this challenge starts in April, at the end of May 30th, I'm going to be inviting all of San Diego to come out and meet learninlocal.com for the 5K. And it's going to be a community event like no other. So really appreciate you guys, because as I mentioned, if you saw me post on school, literally this has been 9 months. I mean, like, Erica had a baby at the time that we were building this, Chris. Right? Erica? I mean, right, Chris? Well, we have to tell her about it. But, hey, there's so much going on, you guys. I really appreciate it. Chris, you're the host. I'm going to let you take it away. But hey, you know what? I'm going to announce Chris is the Educator of the Week. He's the top of the 7-day leaderboard. So I just want to give everyone a hand. Give Chris everyone a hand. Aris fought tooth and nail. He was right behind Chris. But you know what?
Behind me.
Chris right now, he's a triple crown. He's like literally batting. He's like literally has a 7-day, the 30-day, and the all-time leaderboard. So
I want you to catch up to me.
He's just showing off, guys. He's just showing off. So anyhow, I really appreciate it. Chris, take it away. Really appreciate you. You're the Educator of the Week. You're the host. So
all right,
close out the show and transition out.
Thank you so much. And everybody, thank you. We wouldn't have this show if it wasn't for you. And the reason why we have San Diego's LEARNin Local Live is to be able to connect you with all these professionals, realtors, escrow, title, wholesalers, insurance. This is where you need to be to get more information, and the best advice for buying the most expensive asset in your life is your real estate. So make sure you join us on school, join us, be a part of the community so that we can grow and we can continue to provide these professionals to you. And again, thank you all so much for watching our show, and we'll see you at the next LEARNin Local Live.